Hello everyone, this is Stephanie. Welcome to another video. So today we're going to learn peyote with a twist, not crochet, or pay twist. And this is something I've wanted to share with you for a while now. So I contacted the creator of the stitch, Gerlinde Lenz, and asked her if I could share a video tutorial with you. And she said yes. So we'll take a quick look at it. So here I have one in 8/0s. And these three are 11/0s. One I have a wire in that is a little more rigid, so it makes it round, and these two are done just regular and, with a glue-in end cap. All right, so before we get started, I just wanted to show you just this picture, just to show you the difference between peyote with a twist and other peyote tubes. So this one is, a regular flat peyote that has been zipped up, like we use for toggles and such. And then this is tubular peyote, so this is woven and this is tubular peyote, and here's peyote with a twist, or pay twist. And I just wanted you to see how the beads are situated and how it's a little bit different. This one is also starts flat like this one, but we're going to kind of twist it around and get that shape going. All right, so I just wanted to give you a quick look at that. So I'm going to clear the decks, we're going to get a materials list going, and we'll get started. Okay, let's get a materials list going. So you'll need two colors of 8/0 seed beads, an A and a B, or a background, and a contrasting accent color. You need a stop bead, some Fireline, size 10 beading needle. If you, after we learn the stitch, if you want to come back and do the bracelet with the 11/0s, then you'll need two sizes of 11/0 seed beads. Let me grab those. There we go. You'll need some end caps if you're doing this one. So these are glue-in end caps, and I will put the sizes and all the materials, colors, everything in the description box below the video, so don't forget to click the down arrow over the show more. The box will open in a whole list of materials, even places I've purchased my beads. Everything will be down there. So here are a couple of end caps and sizes of the end caps, and we'll talk more about the end caps when we get to this part. If you don't have these glue-in end caps, or you just have the end caps that have just a hole at one end, then you can use those as well. You'll just need a wire to put through. I have a 20 gauge wire here. I put it through and I wrapped a loop, and then I added a clasp. So you can either do this, or again, you can do a lobster claw clasp. Okay. You'll need some glue if you're going to do the glue-in end. Now E6000 is probably the preferred glue here. I didn't have any E6000, or I can't find it for some reason. So I have this Loctite super glue, and it's ultra gel control, and it's not liquidy, it's more jelly. So I tried it with this, and I did this maybe 3 or 4 hours ago, and boy, that is really tight. So I'm going to test it out and see how it works, if it lasts. But E6000, if you just want to be sure and you want to make sure everything stays nice and tight, you can use your E6000. Okay, so gather up your materials, get your 8/0s ready and your needle and thread, and we'll get started. All right, see you in a few minutes. Okay, let's get started. So I have my two 8/0s here, threaded my needle with about 3 feet of thread. So we're just learning now. I put on a stop bead. I left enough of a tail just to hold on to grip. And I put on my needle and I drop down to my stop bead, red bead, 8 of my green beads, and a red. I have 10 beads on. Now I'm just going to do some of your basic flat even count peyote. So in pattern, I'm going to take the red, so through this one, like that. Pick up a green, skip the next green, sew through the next green. Pick up a green, skip this one, sew through the next one. Pick up a green, skip this one, sew through the next one. up a green, skip this one, sew through the last bead, which is that red bead, like that, and then we're going to go back up again. So I generally just go up and down when I do flat peyote. You can flip it if you like. So here, picked up a red, I'm going to sew through the green sticking out bead, pick up a green, sew through the next green sticking out bead, pick up a green, sew through the next sticking out green bead, pick up a green, again, pick up a green, sew through that last bead, the red one, going back down, pick up a red, sew through this one, the sticking out green bead, pick up a green, and so on. Just keep doing that. Like that. This is what we have so far. So what you're going to do here is you're going to keep doing your flat even count peyote until you have 11 rows on. And the way you're going to tell you have 11 rows on is you're going to count the last 2 columns. So these 3 and these 2, that would mean I have 5 rows on. So you want to make sure you have 6 of the red on and 5 of the green, the last 2 rows, or the last 2 columns, or these last 2 columns. You know, count them, and that will give you your row count. All right, so get that done, and then meet me back here, and we'll continue. Okay, we're back, and I have my 11 rows done. So again, I've counted here these 2 end columns, so 6 here and 5 here, or you can count this end. So here we go. So I'm going to connect it on the mat. So we're exiting this red bead. Just going to take the needle and thread and sew through the one diagonally across at the top there. Just like that. I'm going to leave it open so you can see the thread path. So here I am. Now I'm coming back through this green bead, like that. I'll just show you again the thread path. So I started here, I sewed through this bead, back around, and through the green one. And when I pull, this is what happens. So you want to hold it so that your thread is exiting this green one and your stop bead and tail is at the bottom. And then we're going to start peyote just on this one side. We're going to go up and down and up and down. So pick up, you're exiting here, pick up a green, sew through the first sticking out bead, pick up another one, sew through the next sticking out bead. Again, so you're just sewing through all the sticking out beads. One more time. Now we're going to turn around and come back down. So you want to put on the red one. A lot of times I just hold these 2 with my finger so you don't pull them out of position. And then back down again. So I'm coming down to where the red beads are. So I'm going to pick up a green. And I have one more bead to put right here. It's going to go right through this red bead. Put that into position. Then I'm going to sew up through the next red bead. And then back through the green bead I just put on. And what that's going to do, it's going to pull that green bead into position, and it's going to situate us for putting more beads on. So see how that looks? Let's do it again. Just pick up your green beads and sew through. Oops. All the sticking out green beads. down, hold it with your thumb, place the red bead on, peyote your way back down again with the green. Now I'm down at the bottom again. Pick up your green. I'm going to sew through this red bead right here. Place that into position. Sew up through the red. And this green, the green one we just put on, it's going to, again, pull that bead into position and put us into position to put more beads on as well. Do it one more time. Peyote up with the green. Turn around, come back down. Okay, last bead. It's going to go right here, exiting here, sew through the red one. Sew up through the red one next to it and across. You can do them together, but I'm just going to do them separately. And that's going to pull you into position, put you into position to put some more beads on. So that's it. This is what you're going to do all the way down. So if you want to make a bracelet out of the 8/0s, just make your bracelet length minus your clasp. We're going to do some end caps. We're going to do it with 11/0s. So if you want to do the 11/0 bracelet, you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to pick up one of your accent color, this guy, 8 of the base color beads and 1 accent color. So you have 10 beads. You're going to do flat even count peyote, just like you did with the 8/0s, just use 11/0s, only you're going to do 7 rows instead of 11. So 7 rows instead of 11. It's just going to make a little narrower tube. Okay? And when you start, you're going to thread your needle with about, I don't know, 5 or so feet of Fireline. You're going to have to add thread, so, whatever you're comfortable working with. Put on a stop bead and leave about a 12-inch tail, because we want to use that tail to reduce the ends here, or sort of bring this end up to here and kind of reduce it a teeny bit to so we can fit it into the clasp easily. Okay, so have fun and come on back, and I will show you how to do the ends and put the clasp on. All right, see you. Okay. So let's say I'm done with my bracelet and I want to close the end. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring these beads up by decreasing a little bit. But we're going to do it, well, in a little weird way. Okay, so I'm turned around, I'm exiting this bead right here. So I'm just going to start sewing my way up, just like before. Okay, so normally if I was doing a decrease, I would put the 3 beads on, and I would turn around and come down. I'm going to put actually all 4 beads on right now. So I'm going to put the green one on. And now when I turn around, I'm not going to put the red bead on. And the reason that I'm doing this is because I did this end, so I can't show you. I should have showed you before. This red bead, the end red bead, kind of sticks out a lot. So I want to sort of bring that in a little bit. So by not putting this red bead on and coming back down again, you won't have to worry so much about that bead. And you'll see as we go along. So here, I'm exiting here. I'm just going to sew through the red one on the left. And then I'm going to sew through the green one. working my way up to this bead. I'm going to sew up through this green one. So I'm working around so I can get to the sticking out bead and down this one. So I've not put on that red bead. Now I'm just going to work my way down. Just going back down just like we were doing before. Put my last bead on. Like that. I'm going to turn around by sewing through the red one and through the green one. Now I'm going to go up again. So here I'm just going to put 3 beads on right there. Now I'm going to turn around again, so I'm exiting here. I'm going to sew through this one and the one right underneath it, you know, sort of like that on the side there a little bit. Going to sew through this one and back through this sticking out bead. Now I'm going to come back down again. Now I'm going to turn around. See how it's starting to fill in? Now we're going to put 2 beads on. Okay, now we're going to turn around again. So exiting here, sew through these 2. Up through this one. Back down this one. That sticking out bead. Put on your next 2 beads. 1, 2. Up this one. Through here. Put on 1 bead. Gonna turn around and go down again. So through those 2. Up this one. Back down this one. Pick up a bead. So through this one. Up this guy. Oops. Through the green one again. And you can go right back and sew through this guy with a green bead, and that kind of fills everybody in. And then I'm just going to sew back up these 2, and now I'm going to close the circle by just sewing through all the beads. You can fill in a bead here if you want. I just give it a little pull to see how it looks, and that kind of worked out pretty well. So, you know, the end isn't going to be absolutely gorgeous, but it's all going under an end cap anyway. So that's one way of doing it, and as I go around it kind of pulls it together a little more. So you can do it that way, or any way that you end a tube is fine as well. All right, so get that done, come on back, and we'll continue. Okay, we're back. So I just wanted to just go back to this for 1 second. After you've sewn all, you know, you've done this, the creases here, don't forget to sew your threads in by, you know, sewing through the beads. You want to sew down a few, you know, on your piece. You want to change direction, you know, etc. Just until it's nice and snug and your end is good. All right, so here's my glue-in clasp. So I'm going to put it on like this. Now I don't have a 6000, so I'm just going to show you what I did with this. So I took this Loctite, the gel, and I just did a squeeze, and I just put it like in the bottom, I don't know, third or more. It's not filled up, it's just around the edges and on the bottom, just like that. And then you're just going to put it on the end like that and just hold it like that. And like I said, this is a test. So if you see when I squirt this, see how it's thick? So it stays where you put it. So I'm just putting it all around the edge. I mean, I'm putting a fair amount in there, but I'm not filling it. We'll see how this works out. Okay, I'm just going to put this one in, and it fits really beautifully. And now I'm not going to close it because, you know, it needs to dry. Anyway, so there you have it. So we have our peyote with a twist, or pay twist. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you make these and you post them on Facebook and you have a ball with this, because it is a wonderful stitch. And thank you again to Gerlinde Lenz for allowing me to make this video for you guys. All right, so take care and I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.